Hello, ASAP friends and family. I hope you're staying healthy as the COVID-19 pandemic changes our lives and our world. I know many of you are facing trials right now, and during this time, it may feel like you're facing them alone. I want to share a word of encouragement with you from Isaiah 49:15 and 16. Can a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Surely they may forget, yet I will not forget you. See, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. Isn't that a wonderful promise? God will never forget you. And here at ASAP, we are remembering you daily in our prayers. You know, COVID-19 is also deeply affecting the people ASAP serves. This crisis is creating huge needs in the lives of the poor, the persecuted, and refugees, but also great opportunities to minister to them. Over the coming weeks, I plan to share their stories with you. At this point, let's face it, many of us are tired of being stuck at home. But can you imagine if you couldn't be at home right now? This is the case of some of our friends in Myanmar. A few Sabbaths ago, several families were worshiping at an ASAP church plant in the mountains of western Chin State when Simon, our church planter, received a frantic phone call from a missionary in a nearby village. He said, "We have to leave the village right now. I feel like the world is falling apart." Military fighter jets had just bombed the village in retaliation against a rebel group hiding in the area. And the next day, the fighter jets targeted Simon's village. They heard a deafening explosion, and when the smoke cleared, they discovered 8 people dead and 12 wounded. Homes were burning, children were screaming, chaos everywhere. That evening, the church members gathered at Simon's house, too scared to sleep. Simon led them in worship and gently encouraged them to trust in God. Early the next morning, they set out on foot through the mountains. They walked for 17 hours until they arrived at a displacement camp in the town of Sami. Can you imagine how you would feel if you, your children, and your elderly parents had to make that journey? So far, 3,000 displaced people have fled to Sami. Many others are still trapped in the war zone. Aid has been slow to arrive, with violence and coronavirus fears limiting travel in the region. But recently, thanks to ASAP's emergency assistance and God's protection, an ASAP field supervisor and the Myanmar Union Mission president delivered some basic necessities to Sami and assessed the situation. They reported that much more help is urgently needed, including food, shelter, and mosquito nets. I am so inspired by the faith of our church planters under these unimaginable circumstances. Simon told us, "Amid the difficulties, I see mission opportunities. Among the refugees, there are many who are not Christian and have never heard the gospel, and they are discouraged." Would you join me in praying for Simon as he ministers to the displaced in Sami? Would you intercede for our 2 church planters, Elisha and Nathan, and others who are trapped in the war zone? And if you are able, would you give today to help these courageous ASAP missionaries provide food, mosquito nets, and Bibles to those displaced by the violence? Between now and June 30, ASAP is seeking to raise $75,000 in humanitarian funds to respond to this crisis and several others that I will share with you in the coming weeks. Right now, God is opening many opportunities to provide help and hope to those who need to know Him. Together, let's seize this moment because Jesus is coming soon. Now, more than ever, mission matters.